Welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with a one-page layout using the Happy Healing collection from Doodlebug. I only bought a little bit of this collection, but I have some photos of my youngest who has been in the ER a couple of times over the last few years. And so I decided I would use it to document those instances. I hope these photos are not too gruesome. It's hard because I'm a nurse, so not a lot kind of irks me, I guess. But I do cover up the one of his face with one, well, sorry, not all the time. But yeah, he had a sledding accident. We try to be so very careful, and it was just kind of a freak accident in our backyard, and kind of went off course and found the tiniest little bush, and the stick kind of went into his mouth, and yeah, we went to the ER to make sure nothing was stuck in there. I showed my husband the layout, and he was the one that was outside with him, and he just does not like even looking at these photos. He doesn't like remembering that, because yeah, he was the one, like I said, that saw it and whatnot. So anyways, I decided to use the Get Well Soon paper for my background, but wanted to add a little bit of mixed media. I used some of the Shimmers paints and added water, and was hoping to use the smushing or packaging technique. I was getting very discouraged with this color. It is like a light aqua, and you can see it is not showing up very well whatsoever. And I feel like I have used this color before and kind of got discouraged with that layout as well. So I decided just to spray the water in it and then sprinkle, the pigment onto the layout and spread it around with my paintbrush. Goodness. And so looking at it like here, you can kind of see it, but in real life, it really, really looked like nothing. So I was kind of discouraged, kept going though. And thankfully I did, because I think it's just the color. I don't think it's anything with that specific paint, but I just think it's the color. So I did end up going with a darker color as well, splattering it on there. I didn't want the brush strokes, and so I kind of used the packaging to spread it out a little bit, to kind of smush it. And then I used what excess I had and kind of did some splatters. Like I said, I just wanted to do something different. I don't do mixed media often, as you can probably tell. This is probably why I struggled so much with these. If I do mixed media, it is usually with Distress Oxides. It's not with these shimmers, but I had them and the colors matched, and so I decided to try them out. And I think another reason I don't do a lot of mixed media is I am not patient. I want to complete my layout in one sitting. So while that mixed media is drying, I continue to work on my layout. I decided to put all my photos on the white with a little gap in between, and then I used the pink paper that had hearts on it and outlined that, kind of matted that whole cluster with that pink. I had gone ahead of time and cut out this ouch and the stethoscope with my Cricut, and just had to piece together the ouch. I like kind of when there are multiple layers, because it adds a thickness to the layout as well. So that is going to be my title there. I did add, it wasn't an extra layer, but I do have this kind of aqua that is going to be the top layer. And that just kind of, again, incorporates some of the colors that are going to be in some of the other papers I'm going to use. I decided, I don't know, it's got a lot of pink in it, and I tend to stay away from that with the kids. But because the collection is all about healing and whatnot, I decided just to go with it and kind of not worry about the colors. So I really liked this heart paper here. So that's going to be the thickest paper I have. And then I do like kind of that plaid paper as well. I kind of felt like I wanted another color, another pattern. So I am going to commit to the heart, and then I kind of play around. Again, is my mixed media the driest or completely dry? No, it's not. I'm not patient. I want to get my layout done, especially this summer. I have limited amount of time, so yeah, I don't know. It's not soaking wet. It wasn't going to affect anything for me to continue my layout. It is a little bit soggy though. That top right where I started with that light color, that was the most saturated. So that was a little bit more wet than the rest of it. So I decided to have the heart paper go all the way across, and then I switched sides, if that makes sense, with the next two papers. So I left a gap on the right side for the smaller plaid paper, and then I left a gap on the left side with that kind of busier paper. Why, I'm not sure, but I felt like staggering my papers this specific day, and so that's what I did. No rhyme or reason, but I do like the way that turned out. So there was a cut apart that I thought was really good. However, it was a little bit large, and so I decided to just trim that down. Oh, actually, I forgot. I am going to trim down a cut apart, but I cut out the Band-Aids. The only problem with that is the bottom Band-Aid just stops. I had cut that paper, and so I kind of had to figure out then a way to hide the right-hand side of that bottom Band-Aid. And I will figure it out, but I just thought those Band-Aids were too cute not to use. So, with this, I'll go back to kind of the story. My son ended up in the ER 2 nights in a row that time. The first night, my husband took him. We could have done a CT scan then, but the provider that was there, my husband asked if he would do the CT scan, and he said he would wait and see if there was any sign of infection. So we brought him home, and it was almost a full 24 hours from the accident that all of a sudden his cheek was starting to turn red on the outside and kind of swell up. And so my husband ended up taking him back the next night, and he did have a CT scan. So thumbs up, he's got his IV in, and he is ready for that CT scan. Such a brave little boy. I guess he just didn't even flinch when he put the IV in. So yeah, just so brave, and I'm just so proud of him, and everything turned out okay. There was nothing left in his cheek, thank goodness, and he, took his antibiotics, and it healed up just fine. So, and I don't even think there's any scar on his face left over from those scratches. So he is a blessed little boy. For sure. So I did decide to embellish with some circles. That again just allows me to get more pattern paper kind of all over, more colors, more fun. And so I did end up adding that. So I layered some circles under the ouch. I used a circle to cover up that Band-Aid down at the bottom, and then that's the cut apart I was talking about on the bottom right that I just trimmed down a little bit, and I'm going to end up layering some circles under that as well. I can't remember if I add any other circles to the bottom left. Looking at it right now, I feel like it kind of looks out of place with just the one circle. So we'll see. I don't know. I create and I move on anymore because it's just been a crazy kind of summer, especially in this August. We were gone for a week. I'm working more, and so just really trying to still create for you guys, but it kind of, I create and then I move on. So by the time I get back to the voiceovers, I am kind of a little behind or flustered and just trying to do my best, I guess. I am going to end up using I'm going to end up using a flip flap. And so I decided to mat the top photo. And then in doing so, that left a great backing for my journaling. Obviously, I wanted to journal all about this and kind of needed a larger space. And so by adding that flip flap, it allowed me to kind of have a larger journaling space. I wanted to not just leave that journaling spot white, and so I ended up cutting more circles and adding those to the bottom right, layering those. And I wanted to have some fun with it. I really do think maybe I would have liked like pocket scrapbooking. I don't know that I could get into it so much now, I guess. I have a hard time doing anything but a 12 by 12 layout. But I do enjoy when I do these like little journaling spots. Or I remember last fall I used flip flaps and I kind of had to fill in that space. So I would kind of spruce up a cut apart. I enjoy that. It's almost like a whole new project within a project. And so it's just a lot of fun. So I added those circles to the bottom and then found a cut apart that had like soup and I don't know, the can of soup, a bowl of soup, I think. And so I fussy cut that and decided I was going to even add that to this cluster. So I moved the circles around a little bit so that I could kind of fill in that space with that fussy cut image and really like the way that looks. So once that's done, I do go into my stash looking for some hearts. And I guess I don't add any other circles to the bottom. One that I feel like I could add to the bottom would be one of the bright pink circles. I think if I layered that under that plaid one, that might look good down there. Bring some more of that bright pink down the page. But these here are Bella Boulevard, the puffy hearts or images, I guess, because there's hearts, there's stars, arrows, and flowers, and I'm really enjoying these. I bought them from scrapbook.com, I believe, and bought them in multiple colors and just really I'm enjoying those. And then I, again, just didn't feel done, so I went into my stash and I found some of the sticker brads, I guess. It's from some birthday collection from Simple Stories, I believe, but I had some kind of solid brads that were the same colors, and so I decided to kind of sneak those in and snuck a plaid brad. Try saying that 5 times fast, I guess. But I snuck that in as well. So I hope you guys enjoy. I will link this collection down below because it is a newer collection, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.